Good morning. I'm sitting in my car, you guys, and I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm sitting in my car right now, contemplating like, do I want to go into this building? Now I'm going to go by all means because my work ethics is a beast. But I'm sitting here and I'm just saying, and I'm just sitting here and I'm talking to God. And although I'm working on projects and I'm taking the appropriate steps to utilize my gifts that God had given me. But one thing I realize is life is too short to be living somebody else's dreams. We sit on these jobs 20, 30, 40 years, living someone else's dream. And then when we retire, we only have a few years left to even enjoy life. So I'm coming to you today and I just want to tell you that God says that your gift will make room for you. And I believe that if you if you use the gifts that God has given you, you won't feel like this. You won't feel like, oh my God, am I going into this place? Do I really want to be here right now? You're going to be so excited because it's not going to even feel like you're working. Life is too short. We live somebody else's dreams for 20 and 30 years. I promise I work with people who, when you look at their work badge, they were young and now they're on the verge of retiring. I told God there would no longer be a spirit of stagnation, procrastination, or fear, because He didn't give us a spirit of fear. He gave us a spirit of courage, power, and a sound mind. He said that our gifts will place us in front of important people. You're not being placed, I'm not being placed, we're not being placed where we're supposed to be in front of important people because we won't utilize the gifts that He's given us because we're worried about the next person because this person has the same gift or they do the same thing that we do. It's a million people that make t-shirts. It's a million people that preach. It's a million people that have their own restaurant. It's a million people who write books. It's a million people who do the same thing that you do, but don't do it like you. You possess something different. God gave you a special little niche that's going to set you apart from the other person. That's why you have to not be afraid to step out there because Sally Sue and Johnny May do the same thing that you do. They can't do what you do though. You can't do what they do. You can't walk into somebody else's gift. It's not going to work that way. See, we get complacent with trying to be like somebody else. You can't be like me. You can't preach like me. I can't preach like you. You write a book about your life story. I can't write your life story. Oh, such and such, they cook too good. I'm going to try to cook like them. You can't cook their secret recipe. It's a secret. You have your own gifts. Utilize your gifts. You don't want to spend 40, 50 years living somebody else's dreams. This isn't my dream. This is not my dream. This is not my dream. This is not my dream. But I do use my gifts that God has given me in this place, in this moment. I do use my gifts that God gave me. I do use my gifts that God gave me. But if you leave work and you don't feel fulfilled, that's because you're not fulfilled. I usually be done clocked in at this time. I'm still sitting in my car talking to God and talking to you all. Y'all, if you really want to live your best life, go before God. If you don't know what it is that God has called you to, your purpose, the gift, go to God. Pray, ask Him. Don't be afraid to ask God. Don't be afraid to say, God, this ain't my life. God takes delight in the prosperity of His children. God wants you happy. God wants you using your gifts. He put that gift in you. See, when God created you, God said, okay, let me add this gift inside of them. Let me add this speaking gift. Let me add this creative gift. Let me add this gift because it's something that the world doesn't have. With you not being here, the world no longer have that gift. With you gone, that gift that you presented to the world is no longer here, but it can live on. But first you got to pull it out. You got to let God stir up that gift that's inside of you. Let him stir it up that's inside of you. Let him speak to you and let you know. Don't be afraid. I didn't give you that spirit. So what if you fall a few times? Babies fall all the time, but that didn't stop them from walking. You were a baby one time. You were a baby one time that didn't know how to walk, and then now you know how to walk because you failed a few times, and now you're a professional at walking. That's what we got to take into our adulthood. Don't get complacent because they pay you good. It's only a ceiling. It's a cap. They're not paying you what you're worth. You're worth more than what they're paying you. So what? You make $60, $70, $80, $100,000 a year. If God can give you that, he can give you way more than that. Your worth is priceless. Stop allowing these jobs to limit your pricing. Your value, to devalue you, because you won't use the gifts that God has given you. Whatever gifts God given you, whatever situation you're in, continue to use those gifts in that place and watch how God elevates you to doing what you love to do. You guys have a great day in the Lord and be blessed.